Hi, it's Adrienne Oliver with Remax Universal, coming to you today to talk about pre-approvals and why they're important. So oftentimes my first conversation with the buyer will talk about pre-approvals. And I will ask them directly, are you paying cash or do you have a pre-approval letter? So a lot of people think that I use this in order to not want to work with clients. I don't care about your price point. That's not what I'm about as a realtor. What I am about is making sure that I find the right home for you. This particular step is very important. There's a lot more things that go into home loans besides credit and money. So there's a debt to income ratio, there's a bunch of other things. So we need to make sure that before we start looking at homes and you fall in love with something, that it's something that's within your budget and you feel comfortable with the payment. This has a lot of different factors, including taxes, those kind of things. So it's important to be knowledgeable going in so that you don't overspend. If you want to underspend, I'm the agent who will definitely do that with you. That doesn't matter to me. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help you find a good fit. So the best fit is what we should go with. And in order to figure that out, part of that process is figuring out what you're pre-approved for. So it lets you know what you can borrow. But also, especially with COVID, sellers are starting to require it in order to get a showing. So the seller's agent will always call and ask for that letter, and that we will also have to use it when we get an offer. A lot of times, depending on the inventory, right now the inventory is a little low, so we could get into a multiple offer situation. And if we're in that, you might actually lose the home while you're trying to get your pre-approval letter. So that's important. When you do that, it signals that you're serious. So getting a pre-approval is pretty quick and simple. It's usually a conversation, and it lets you know what you can benefit during the home buying process. So when you buy the home, the other thing that's important for is we know exactly how your loan is going to be structured when you purchase that home. So when you purchase that home and we present that to them, sometimes it can give you an edge. So that basically says that we've already reviewed it. It's easier for the sellers to accept you, that they know that you're more financially secure than another buyer. So you can also try to figure out from this process what you need to work on. So sometimes if you're not pre-approved, you'll get that credit report. The credit report is going to be very different than what you would see on Credit Karma or anything like that. Mortgage loans are pulled differently. So it's very important that we figure out what that is and what it looks like for you. It also will give us different potential problems, will be alerted to them. So sometimes people are ready to buy a house, but there's certain things that need to be fixed, right? So if we do that, we can start fixing it. And so by the time that you're ready and you've gone through the process, we actually have the ability to do that. I'll give you an example. I had a client who had a freeze on one of his 3 credit bureaus. That took us letters and 90 days to fix it. So he had plenty of money, he had great credit, there was no issues, but we were able to see that Equifax had put a hold on his credit. Without the 3 reports, we weren't able to help him get the debt to income that he needed and pull the credit and get him the interest rate, the best interest rate for him. So basically, when you try to get a mortgage approval, you need a couple things. You need to gather the appropriate documents. So bank accounts, assets, property you own, income, employable details, employer contact information, as well as debts you own. Your lender is going to do a hard credit inquiry, which will require additional documents based on your particular situation. So pay stubs, tax returns, bank statements. When you do a mortgage, you need to make sure that you research the lenders. Consider working with multiple lenders. Have them compete for you. When you pull the credit, that hard credit pull, it usually does a little bit of damage to your credit, not really damage. That's one of the things that makes me crazy, is that people will pull and shotgun their credit all day for a car, but when it comes to a house, they don't want you to pull their credit. So you can go to multiple lenders, and those multiple lenders can shop your credit, and it only counts as one credit pull. Where with the car, if they pull it 20 times and they shotgun your credit, it counts as 20. So usually Your pre-approval is good for 30 days, and then we go shopping, we find you a house within 30 days. If not, they'll do an amendment to the credit and go from there. But that is why it's very important to get a pre-approval. If you have any questions about pre-approval or anything else, please give me a phone call. My cell phone is 832-217-7141. Thank you. This is Adrienne Oliver with RE/MAX Universal.